Good evening, Brownsville AOBE educators and BISD educators. This is Veronica Borrego, your AOBE president. And right here next to me, I have Miss Ida, our TSTA staff. Hello, Miss Ida. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing. I think everybody's pretty much already ready for the next vacation. It's been a heck of a week. My gosh. And I don't think, I mean, yeah, we sound like a broken record, the same thing over and over. I mean, so many people are going through so many different things. Every time we think that it's going to get a little bit better, every time we think like, we're going to have a little bit of normalcy back into our lives, um, we get taken back. So it's you know we take it day by day. We've got to take time to try to focus on our energy on things that we can change, and we got to learn to try to release the things that are out of our control. But those things that we can change, those things that we can take action on, you guys better believe that we're going to be doing that. So, but yeah, I'm ready for a vacation again.
We just came back. Um,
Oops, sorry.
we are back after a little hiatus, but before we left for the break, we were able to give some nice prizes out. The people that received the prizes, our staff person actually went and delivered most of them, with the exception, I think, of one, and they were very grateful that they were able to get it right away. Um,
Yes. So
so
a
to
shout out
Mary,
to Mary for doing that. Thank you very
yeah,
much, Mary, for taking it upon herself to get that out to everyone as soon as possible. That was very nice of her. So we appreciate you, Mary.
yes. So welcome back. Happy New Year. I hope everybody had a restful break. I know that it feels like we almost didn't have a break because we have a lot of, we're just tired, but we are here to discuss what is happening right now, concerns that are continue, new concerns, um, parent concerns, things that are happening in the classroom, and just whatever topics come up on our chat with the people, with our viewers. So I we will be having a guest shortly, and we will be able to speak to this individual about the concerns with returning to the campus, and just how they're feeling about their child coming back
Yes.
to school.
Yes, we're very happy that we're going to have a parent on, and she's going to share how she feels about her child going back to the classroom, and how things are, because uh, if some of you have seen some of the postings, BISD is very proud of returning to the classroom, and everything seems so hunky dory and perfect and safe. And but we want to hear some input. We want to hear from you guys. I don't draw my own personal opinion, even though I am pretty transparent on that. But I don't. I go with what is brought to me from the members. I help to be your voice. I help you to find your voice as well, to be able to do what is within your rights, and that's what I'm here to do. I could feel differently sometimes about certain things, but my job here is to help you and to help represent you. So I speak on your behalf, and some of these things I do, I take it very personal. I carry it with me because I feel y'all's pain, y'all's stress, what y'all are going through and everything. And it's hard to believe that we've just been back a few days, and it has really, really been difficult. I mean, I'll be honest, my Christmas break, I really just did a lot of nothing because that's how exhausted I felt. And I think there's quite a bit of people that kind of just wanted that silence, that downtime and things like that. You know, there's like people like, oh, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna go there. I'm like, I just want to be still, you know. I just want to be able to have some time to myself. You know, binge on some shows that I keep hearing people talk about. And I got to see Yellowstone and what all that hype is about. So it's a little rough, but now I know what that is about. But that's how I spent my Christmas break, so I could recharge. So
My
you know,
husband is obsessed with Yellowstone.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And,
Yeah,
and
obsessed.
if you see it, you get some nifty ideas. They're a little hardcore, so I did like it. I had to say so.
Did you
But
watch it all the way from the beginning?
yes,
How?
yes. It is on Paramount, I believe,
Okay.
and you have to download that app and whatever, another streaming app. Now there's like, I don't know, 50 of them now out there. So strictly, I downloaded that. No, I'm sorry, Peacock. Peacock is the app that you have to download it in order to see the first 3 seasons, and Paramount is the channel that is showing the current one. They're
Okay.
so
Okay.
tricky, I
Yeah.
swear. So we watched the first 3 seasons, and then the current one is through Paramount and stuff. And it's like I said, it's hardcore. So I think I'm going to be even tougher the second semester because they don't put up with a lot.
You're learning some skills.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah. So I'm gonna be Beth from Yellowstone. So if you yeah, so if you see that, it's like whoa. but but no, you know, we're here for the second semester, and that's why I want to talk to some of these people out here and get some good dialogue going, and see how they feel. I mean, I know I've gotten enough phone calls, enough text messages, and I try to get back to everybody as much as I can on this, because like I said, I want to hear what they have to say. You know, there are eyes and ears out there at the campuses, at the departments, and we want to speak with the truth. If it's great and it is hunky dory, hey, by all means, we'll say it. We're not going to disagree with it and stuff. But if it's not, then I think they need to be called out on it. And it's nothing personal. It's just that we're here to discuss what's going on and see how we can make it better. Don't take it personal, guys. It's no attack on anybody. We just want to make it a better working environment, safer for staff and safer for students. That's all we want. It's not
Yep.
about us. It's not about creating a panic or anything like that. Because why would we do that? Why would we cause or create more work for ourselves? No, we just want a safer environment. And that's what we're trying to do. And it's just like, you know, just because certain people can go out there and take certain pictures, it doesn't make it real. That's not what's really happening and stuff. And it's just really sad to see that you're just trying to, because it gets out. People talk. Brownsville may be a big district, but it's a very close knit community, and people
Yeah.
talk. And just because you walk in to a classroom and take pictures to give an illusion that you were subbing, is that's not how it works. That's not how it works. And this morning, one of our members sent me a video of a superintendent in one of the districts, and I thought, wow, That was amazing. That's beautiful. The superintendent was actually in the classroom teaching, I believe,
Wow.
fourth grade. She had not been, it was a lady superintendent, but she had not been in the classroom in, I believe it said, over 20 years. But she rolled up her sleeves and she went in there and she taught that class, because that's being part of the
Nice.
team. That's being a real leader. A leader that is someone who is willing to go in there and do what needs to be done.
Lead by
You know,
example.
exactly. You lead by example. If that's
Mhm.
what has to be done because there's a shortage in staff, then you get in there and you do it. You
Mhm.
walk that walk, okay? But just to go in there and stopping by different classrooms, which to me is just a little bit more stressful. My gosh, that's what the messages I kept getting. I was like, why is this? The superintendent just stopped by for like 2 minutes and just peeked into our classroom. Well, I mean, my gosh, who is that helping?
Yep.
I mean, help me
True.
understand what's the purpose behind that.
Help me help you.
So, my gosh, and you know what? And that honestly, that help me help you, because guys, I believe in BISD. I believe great things are going on, but my gosh, help me help you.
Mhm.
Help me help you sell this of the great things that are going on. But anyway, I think I see that our guest person is here today, and if you want to introduce the great person that is willing to come on today. I mean, it takes a lot for people to come forward, and speak as parents, as even as employees, or as in any capacity. It takes a lot to get on here and speak up, but we value anybody who does do that, and we know and we respect even the people that don't want to come forward, because we know how things can be. So, but we thank you for taking the time to be on here, and I'll let you go ahead and introduce her, Vero.
Yeah, so we are going to have Miss Jessica Titro, who is a parent in BISD, and we're going to be talking to her about her concerns with the return, and the way the numbers are going, the positives are going up, and what she is seeing. And she's a parent, like I said, of a student who attends BISD, and so we want to talk to her about her concerns and have her express herself. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her on.
Hi,
How are you?
me. I'm good. How are you all doing?
We're doing good. We're tired already, and it's barely Thursday.
Yikes.
I know we're ready for a vacation again. We were saying.
Yeah, we're like counting down the days.
I think we're all in that boat.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, I do want to make it very clear that today you're on our show as a parent,
Yeah.
and you're not here as anything else. You serve in different roles, in the community and things like that. But right now, it is very important that we hear from our parents. We want to know how the parents feel, not just our employees, our members, and things like that, but how do parents feel right now with sending their kids back into the classrooms? Just when we thought everything was going to continue to get better, and we were going to I'll be honest, I was starting to put my guard down. I was starting to go places without my mask, or I'd go into the places with the mask in my hand, and in case somebody was coughing, I was ready to put it on. But I was going places without my mask and on. And now it's back on, and I'm getting after family members and this and that, and hey, do you really have to go there, and all these things. So as a parent, Jessica, how do you feel with everything? Talk to us, tell us a little bit about your point of view on that.
So, thank you so much for having me on your show. It really means a lot to me and a lot of parents out there who are in this position where, it almost feels like somebody has a gun to your head, forcing your kids to go to school in these conditions. I do wear many hats in the community. Of course, I have an affiliation. I'm an elected official, but I'm not here today in that capacity. I also am a business owner. I'm your neighbor on Paredes Line Road. And so I see all of the cars every morning start lining up at 3 a.m. on my security cameras through the back of my business, waiting for testing, which is very concerning. To see people have to leave their home that early to find a test here in the community is just very alarming. And on top of that, the fact that I've followed our COVID situation from the beginning very, very closely, and to know how deadly it's been, to have had two of my neighbors who are educators pass away. Just, I can't even tell you how hard it's been. I'm sure you all know how hard it's been for all of us to have lost so many close friends and community members. I was just seeing that we passed the 2000, I think we're at like 2033 or 2055 deaths in Cameron County. It's hard to believe that those are our friends and our neighbors who we've lost. It's just devastating. So to have been following from the get-go, to have seen the way the hospitals work during the surge and how we get overloaded very quickly, and just to know that there are people in our city who are experiencing symptoms and having problems finding that test is very alarming. And so to be a parent, to be trying to raise children in these times, to just the fear, you want to live your life without that fear, but at the same time, you want your children to be, you don't want them to have any health conditions later. I have a
Right.
daughter that was born with pediatric congenital heart disease, and she's at BISD. So I am really putting my child, my everything, the things that mean the most to me. I have two kids at BISD, but to have to give them the most important thing ever and trust that they're going to make the right decision and have this COVID control, within their situation and be able to control it. It's just very alarming. And I've had a lot of concerns, and I don't mean to cause anybody any harm or fear. These are just concerns that I have as a parent. And I was very disappointed to be attacked on my personal Facebook page in the middle of the night. So, I mean, without trying to make it a scandal, it's just very hard to be a parent and raise a child right now, and then have people telling you that you're crazy and it's not that bad and there's nothing to be afraid of. We don't know the long-term effects. We know that many children in the valley have been effective. We know that we've lost children in the valley to COVID. So I'm just very grateful that the union and yourself, Ms. Borrego, have been so vocal for these parents and these teachers. At least we have somebody that wants to hear us and somebody that cares the situation that we're in and the fear that we're feeling and the anxiety. I went public, and I've had countless teachers reach out to me just in fear. And that breaks my heart. We shouldn't be having that. There should be an open dialogue. Our teachers do so much for us. There is no district without the teachers. It's like trying to ride a plane without a pilot, you know? And so I just have so much respect for everybody out there at BISD, from our bus drivers to our food services to everybody trying to make this work. But if there's anything that we can do or be vocal or help them with to calm that fear and anxiety, or any other precautions. And one of the things that we're demanding the most, or I'm demanding the most as a parent, is I want to know how many infections are at my child's school. I want to know if they've been exposed. I've never received any contact tracing, knowing that my children have been exposed. So that's really alarming. And I know their hands are full, but I don't think it's too much to ask for, to send my child to school and know that they're safe throughout the day.
Yeah, that's a very real concern, and that's a concern. I mean, we've heard of parents asking teachers to give a guarantee that their child is not going to get sick. Well, we cannot guarantee that. You know what I mean? And so the only thing we can guarantee is that we're going to remind them to put their mask on. We're going to remind them to wash their hands. We're going to remind them to sanitize their hands. We're going to remind them to stay away as much as they can, because even in the classroom, there's not a lot of space. And so, but as teachers, as educators, we can't guarantee you that a parent is not going to send their child sick, that your child is not going to be exposed. We can't give you that guarantee because we don't know what's coming to school. We have kids on the daily coming to school with symptoms, with fevers, and being sent home, and calls from teachers saying, I was exposed again today. Another family tested positive, the sibling tested positive, now my student tested positive, and so teachers cannot give a guarantee that your child will not be exposed, will not be, we can't do that. That's impossible. The only thing we can guarantee is that we as educators are doing our very best. We're not medical professionals, and so we're doing our very best to keep the kids as safe as we can in the situation that we're in, but there is no guarantee. There isn't a guarantee, and everything is not hunky-dory. Teachers have a lot of anxiety because they're coming sick. Parents are sending them sick. And so, yes, there's tests, although many campuses have run out of tests. Yes, the vaccine is available. A lot of parents still have not vaccinated their children. So neither of those can be forced on them. That is all optional. So while, yes, it is available, it does not mean that 100% is occurring. And so that is, I'm sure you as a parent, knowing that this is not something that is a requirement, that also brings anxiety, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, you just can't, I don't know. And you see more numbers than we do, so.
I do, and that's one of the things that I've been so upset about is we just want transparency. We're not asking for any special treatment. We're not asking for any, a lot of parents commented on my Facebook post today saying, like, I'm forced, like I have to go to work. I'm forced in this situation. So they really appreciate the vocalness. And I can just say myself as a parent, even though I'm not affiliated to a single teacher at BISD, even though my mom and grandmother were educators and part of your union, you all took good care of them. But with that being said, we really appreciate you. We really appreciate you being vocal. We saw how you were demanding those extra 3 days and how it was looked over. And, people think it's just 3 days, but hear this equation. So if somebody gathered on New Year's Eve and was infected, they wouldn't be presenting symptoms for approximately 5 to 6 more days, even if, even going as far as the first. So giving those extra days would have given a lot of people time for the virus to incubate in them and eventually begin to start experiencing symptoms. Well, now, because of the timeline that we went back, that timeline falls directly while kids are at school. And so that's why it was so important to me. It wasn't anything to be mean to anybody. It's just because I understand, because of my experience dealing with this for the last 2 years, how it works and how you need that incubation time. You really need to watch knowing that you've been exposed.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. And I know that there was a comment made about virtual not being allowed, or virtual being restricted, or I'm not sure, something to that effect. We were not asking for virtual. We were asking for a delay,
yes,
which is very different.
Very different.
So that does not affect attendance rates, which is a big hit to the district financially if the children are not coming to school. And so we were not asking for that. We were asking for a delay. And in big part to what you just said, give people time. Now it's a 5-day waiting period. Had we waited by Monday, we would have been a little bit safer, and we would have probably not seen the numbers that we're seeing right now. Really, and exposure would have been less, you know what I mean? So now kids are coming sick and exposing, and then others are going to be getting sick, and so it's just going to keep going.
And another thing, of course, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a health professional, but one thing that I do know is that there's a large assumption that every single case right now is Omicron. And, Omicron, yes, is a less dangerous variant. I mean, there's still a chance that you can be hospitalized. A lot of these kids are not vaccinated. They're saying it's dangerous if you're not vaccinated. But one of the assumptions that everybody seems to have is that everything is Omicron. It's not. We know that Delta is still present in the community. Delta is very, very deadly and dangerous. And so, you know, it's just as a parent, as a teacher, as a human being, you have to be concerned for one another.
Mhm.
And we're just very grateful to have an organization like yourself that you've been so proactive for these teachers. If there's anybody that has an idea of what more we can do, I mean, please let us know. But we're here with you, teachers. We feel you, and just what a terrible situation to be in. And the fact that so many people are experiencing anxiety, like I am. I got, you know, I'm sure you saw the messages on my Facebook. Parents who are having anxiety attacks, full blown anxiety attacks. What can we do for each other? How can we make each other feel better, and just have that safety, knowing that your child is not in danger? I mean, what more can we do? I think that 3-day delay was very unfortunate, and that's all I can say.
Yeah. Miss Ida, we can't hear you.
Sorry about that. I swear I got disconnected. I had to restart everything. So I think right now it's important that we all know, and that we're not saying we have the perfect plan. There's not a perfect plan out there right now. But I think when you go into something new that is new to everybody, stop pretending you have all the answers. Stop pretending that you have the perfect plan and everything is going perfectly well, and things like that. Okay. What you need to do is be open, be receptive to people's ideas. Let everyone onto that table so you can hear the different perspectives out there. What we're bringing to them, it's not my personal opinion or my view of it. It's what the members have brought to us, and the members are bringing me their concerns from the classroom, from
Right.
the food service line, from the custodial point of view, from maintenance point of view, from the bus driver's point of view. That's what we're bringing forward. It's not Ida's or Veto's point of view only. No. So if it helps to bring you those concerns, I can tell you it's probably some stuff that the superintendent didn't think of, because he has no idea what some of these teachers, custodians, food service people, bus drivers, or anybody else goes through out there, dealing with this pandemic, dealing with these positive cases left and right. So I completely agree with you, Jessica, 100% on this, and I'm so glad you're on here as a parent, because I think this is how a lot of the people feel, because a lot of our members and employees are parents here as well.
Yeah.
And all we want is true transparency. Really, don't paint a pretty picture. We're not saying to create panic or chaos. No, it's about keeping people well informed as to what is really going on out there, so I can be prepared. If I
Mhm.
send my child to school and there was 15 positive cases at that school, of staff people, I want to know, because I need to know if my child has severe asthma. I need to know, I need to be extra vigilant of him during the night in case something happens. Not because I want to start trouble, not because I want to be that annoying parent, or causing issues for BISD or the superintendent. No, because I need to know what I need to be aware of and looking for my child's safety, for my safety, or if I have somebody who has health issues in the household. I just need to know. But if you're lying to me and you're misleading me, and I didn't know that my child's teacher was positive, well, that's not right. And you know what? God help you for keeping that information from these people, because that is very wrong. That is very wrong. And I hope and I pray to God that nobody gets ill and passes away like that because they just withheld information. And yes, we're seeing that there's less deaths, but you know what? There still is some. And one is one too many, as we said from the very beginning.
Yep.
One loss is one too many when it could have been prevented. So all we're saying is, hey, let's be real. Let's be transparent. People are saying that at the end of the second day, there was over 200 positive cases in the district. That's not what's on the dashboard. And I know, Miss Jessica, you posted something about that. And I saw some of the conversations on there got a little heated, some of the comments. But as of today, it's showing that on January 3rd, there was 115 employees positive. January 4th, 54. January 5th, 38. So, and they haven't posted the full numbers for today, I'm assuming, because it's showing incomplete, only 6 positive cases, and I'm sure there's more than that. But that barely equals to the 200. So we know that's not correct. And again, it's not that we want to, say, oh, you guys are doing a horrible job. No, we deserve the right to know. The employees deserve the right to know. These people deserve to know what they're working with. And so they can plan and prepare accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we ask for. It's not too much. So, and then on top of that, what we're seeing is, and this is why one of the reasons that we were and still are advocating for COVID leave, because I don't know if y'all are aware, or if you're aware, Ms. Tetro, that some of the surrounding districts, the majority of them have COVID leave. Their districts gave the employees COVID leave, okay? Meaning that if they come out positive, they're given 10 days, up to 10 days for the school year to take it without it going into their sick leave. Why is that important? Because that keeps people honest. Because if they come out positive, they will come out and report it. Instead, what some people are doing, and I'm not saying all, but some people are, they're not going to go test at the wellness center. They're not going to test at their campus. They're going to test outside the district, because that way they decide if they want to report it to the district. So what does that mean? You have positive people working because they cannot afford to be out. And that's really sad, because I understand it's a financial bind that it puts them in, but you're talking about somebody's life you could be risking. That's what's really hard, And then you have the other side of the people that did go test and they came out positive. They have to be at home, or they were exposed, or whatever the case, and they're getting docked. So what do those people do? They're not going to be able to pay all of their bills. And we've gotten those phone calls. We've talked to those people in tears. And it's sad, because we tell them, you know what, we're trying. This is why we need COVID leave. That's why the district needs to show their employees that they care enough to do this.
Yep.
But that's why it's important, because it all trickles down into other areas.
It does, because what you're saying is, if it's a teacher, Ida, that doesn't have days, they're going to come to school positive, and they're going to be in the classroom with the kids, and they're going to be exposing the kids.
Yep. And I'm so sorry, we're falling really behind on the comments, but I don't know if you want to touch on some of the comments, and that way, Ms. Jessica.
Quick, there's some questions for Ms. Tetro.
Yes.
Hello, Ms. Nelda. Gloria Garcia, Happy New Year. Good evening, Ms. Micaela. Marisa Lopez, hi, ladies. Hello. Good evening, lovely ladies. Hello, Ms. Lupita. Mr. Cisneros, Vanna. He wants you to video.
We are going to do some door prizes, you see?
Yes, we are. Mr. Cisneros says, you guys rock. I love that it's plural this time. Miss Lupita, waiting for BISD to offer the age 12 to 17 boosters, which have now been approved by both FDA and CDC. I do not feel safe sending my child back. They aren't giving them options. If we call, they just mark them absent. Too bad then. Yeah, pretty much. Hello, ladies. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you, Miss Salceda.
I want to talk about when you catch up in the comments, if we can talk about that comment that you just read, because that's interesting.
That one?
But you can read a few more comments, and then if you can go back to that one, because I wasn't aware of that one.
Okay, so glad and thankful to have you lovely ladies as our voice. Thank you. Yellowstone, yes, Kevin Costner. He's really good in this too. Like, I've never seen him act so.
He's amazing.
Yeah. Good evening, ladies. Good evening. Mr. Vega, there are certain people from main office that deserve to go to the train station.
That's Yellowstone. Have you all seen it? Oh,
I've watched like little clips because my husband's like obsessed with it, but I haven't. That's why I was asking you, where did you watch the whole thing? Because he keeps telling me you need to start from the beginning because I'm like totally lost.
Yeah, you do. You have to from the beginning.
All right, I will. Peacock is great to have. They also have the Law and Order series. Esa Maggie. Superintendent needs to come to the classroom and sub for teachers with only a 15 to 20-minute lunch, calling parents during year planning.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I would love main office people to go sub at Hannah for 7 classes, one after another, nonstop, and for them to get a walkthrough. Then they'd see what it's really like.
To my understanding, some administration personnel have been going to the classrooms to sub. Some doing actual subbing, not just going in for pictures.
Thank you, Jessica. Audrey Roberts, she's the best, truly concerned about our kids. Love this. I am so disappointed that our current board doesn't represent the needs of our children and teachers/staff. Their disconnected attitude is very frustrating. Very frustrating. Oh, I think they're tagging someone to come watch us. Good conversation. Where can we find the numbers? That's a great question.
Jessica, maybe.
So there's a dashboard. Yeah, there's a dashboard at BISD. And I don't really like the system they use. I'm not trying to be a Karen. So they update it throughout the day. And whenever they update it, it kicks offline and it takes you to a 504 not found page. And so some people click it and they think the link is just dead or not working and that we're lying. And not just that, but when they do update it, it's not valid information. Like it's not up to date. So you can probably get the best numbers through the county. You can look them up on Facebook. It's Cameron County Public Health. They are awesome. I mean, our county is just doing an amazing job. I'm sure they're still a little bit behind. And of course, you always have to see the numbers and remember the kids that are testing and teachers that are testing at home. So here you're going to see the numbers on the top. Those are the PCR tests. And it looks like it's 206, right? So if you actually scroll down, you'll see on the bottom black chart, okay, the actual number 324 plus that 200 number is what our Brownsville number is currently at. So there's a way to do PCR testing and there's a way to do rapid testing. So a lot of people are seeing this 200 number and thinking like, oh, okay, there's only 200. When in actuality, that's not the case. It's 500 and whatever.
Oh my goodness. So it's 206 and the 324?
Yes. If you look down, yes, with antigen testing, there's 2 types of testing. There's the rapid test and then the PCR that goes to be confirmed.
So 530 positive today?
Whenever this chart was for. And the really interesting thing, I love the county. They're doing an awesome job. They are rock stars. You can actually see the age category and if it's male or female. So as you see, the majority looks like a pretty good portion are children that are infected. You can go down to the antigen testing. And that's where you see those BISD numbers might be dumped in there because that's a lot of kids right there.
Wow.
It might be that BISD is using antigen testing and not sending out to a laboratory to confirm. I'm not too sure. I'm not familiar with it. I have had a child that needed to be tested, and the testing department did an awesome job. This was before the holidays let out. He was negative, thank God. But everybody at BISD does such an awesome job. I just don't appreciate the structure and the way this has been done coming back from the holidays.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to the nurses because
definitely.
they are killing it and doing the best that they can with what they're being given. And they are, along with everybody in the classroom and cafeteria and custodial and everybody being exposed. The nurses are truly exposed. I don't want to say that we're not all exposed, but theirs is a different kind of exposure. And they are actually dealing with the liquids, right? Because they have to swab the nose and they have to do all these different things. And so that makes it even more dangerous. So a huge shout out to the nurses for killing it and for making sure that if students are sent to the nurse's office, they're testing, they're calling to come get them picked up. They're being really firm about it, even if parents are upset about having to come. And I wouldn't want to be in that position, having to call a parent who's arguing with me that they can't come for them or whatever, because it's hard. And I'm sure they have overwhelming amounts of paperwork that they have to do when they have to report positives. So, I mean, kudos to you guys. You guys are doing awesome. Praying for you guys because I know you guys are like right there. So I just wanted to say that while you're mentioning that about the testing, that they are doing a great job. They're doing an amazing job. And so shout out to the nurses.
I had a really good experience before the holidays. Yes.
So I'm going to bring up the statistics for today as of 9 o'clock this morning.
Oh, wow.
2,034 deaths.
Oh my goodness. That's heartbreaking. And so this count is running from when? This is the entire time since the pandemic started?
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah.
Wow.
And we know that a lot of those are, well, not a lot, but several of those are children that were Cameron County kids. Devastating.
Very much so.
Oh my gosh.
And that's why, I mean, I agree on that. Yes, okay, we cannot go back to 100% virtual, but I think that option needs to be given there to those, because only that parent knows what's best for their child. And if that needs to be, the best route for their child, but we frown upon it, and we give them a hard time in order to qualify for the virtual. And because we want it all face to face. And you know what, and if we weren't facing this pandemic, then okay, but we need to be honest, we need to be real. And I said it before, and it's very harsh, but that it's unfortunate that they're focusing so much just on the testing. But the last time I checked, dead children don't test very well. Mm-hmm. And as ugly as that sounds, you gotta realize that. At one point you need to stop and say, you know what, okay, we have to make sure that they're healthy, that they're safe first. And I'd rather 1,000 times, I'd rather have my child have that delay in their education, but still have them here, and
I just had a question question. I just had a question come up. BISD policy states that if you are negative, you go to work, even if you have a spouse or a child at home who is currently positive.
Say again, what was the question?
So it says, I'm working with people who have family members currently positive. BISD policy states that if you are negative, you can still go to work. Is this correct?
That is correct. Yes.
That's
And
correct.
it's even worse than that, guys. The flow chart says if it has been 5 days since your original positive test, and even if you're still testing positive, you can return to the workplace. You get your clearance to return to the workplace. So there is people that have been cleared and are at work positive, and they're working because they already just passed the 5 days. You know, there's other workplaces that are saying, okay, no, not until you can bring us a negative test. But at BISD, unfortunately, as long as you are 5 days after your first positive test, you can return to work. That's how bad that is. We don't have, the data does not show, it does not prove 100% that you're not going to be contagious after the 5th day. You know, you could still be spreading that. But, you know, that's what the flow chart has. And that's what this current superintendent has recommended. And I hate to say it, but this is also what the board has allowed. It gets down to that, okay? Because one thing that we have been advocating for and encouraging our members to do is reach out to the school board members, because that's what they're there for. That's what they ran on. Each candidate, each board member, when they were a candidate, they ran on a platform of that they were there to serve, okay, and do what was best for BISD students and staff. So we encourage people to reach out to them.
And we have that information on, we post that information regularly on our Facebook page. We have it on our website. Oh, I didn't put the banner. Let me put the banner.
Yes. And we encourage people to do that. And I've talked to board members and I tell them, hey, we give out your information, your contact information. And they say, oh, yes, that's fine. I haven't had one tell me, you know what, I'd have stopped doing that, you know, because I would still do it because, hey, they're elected officials. Sorry. But, you know, that's
well, we do get a lot of calls and messages that they're calling and nobody answers, or they've emailed and they don't get a response. So we just remind them, remember that when election time comes.
Remember, and not all of them do that. Some of them do call back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
When I had my concerns about the dashboard, I reached out to board member Jessica Gonzalez, and she's amazing. She right away, like, I'm going to help you. Even though we were having this massive disagreement over the 3 days, she still was very courteous and very prompt and did her best. And sure enough, within that evening, the dashboard started updating. Yeah. It was showing 3 positives on Wednesday.
Oh, yes.
And we know that's not what the situation was based on the county numbers and based on the health information that was coming out. So just that lack. But Jessica has been awesome with me. I will say that. And I also did reach out to Prissy Roca Tipton after I was bashed and bullied in the middle of the night. And she was really amazing with me. And she took the time to answer my questions and talk to me and, you know, make sure that I was okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And like I said, I will say that not all of them, you know, are the same. Some of them, you know, do respond. Some of them, you know, do look into the issues. I've had some of them that, you know, look into and get me feedback or an answer or explanation right away. They do. I cannot say that they all do, but some of them do. But if you do not like what you're seeing from this current superintendent and the policies that are being put into place, the procedures with all of this, the fact that there's no COVID leave, the fact that there was no vaccine stipend, the fact that they didn't take into consideration the delay of returning. Okay, it's not that we don't want to work. It's not that we didn't want the students to come back. No, there's reasoning behind it. But all of these things, if you don't like what's being done, that's why you voice it out to these board members. And their answers or no answers should help you decide as
When
to
you're voting. Yep.
how you're going to vote at this next election. Because those seats are not permanent, guys. They're not. If we only realized how much power we have, and we're very proud because we track of how many people vote, and we do phone banking. We get very involved. We get very involved when it comes to elections. And we're proud to say that from our membership, over 95% vote. So that's amazing because, you know, sometimes the numbers for educators are not that high for voting. But, you know, we got to give props to our membership and for taking action on that. But let's not forget when it's an election time, if you do not like what you're seeing in policy, if you do not like what you're seeing in the different benefits that are being given to you all, then that's when you voice it. That's how you fight back, guys. That's how you get things done. Okay, you do it, and you help to get people in there that are going to listen to you, that are going to actually do what is best for you guys.
Yep.
So you
Miss
know,
Ida.
it's very, very important.
Question. Well, I think we kind of discussed this already. Si los niños no van a la escuela, BISD no recibe dinero. ¿No sería mejor posponer el regreso y pedir al Estado una excepción y no perder dinero?
Absolutely.
Yep. That is
You would have
correct.
thought, but I think the rationale behind that was that they didn't want to lose those days of instruction because they're counting every day before testing. And if you want to be real, that's my thinking behind it, the strategy behind it. That okay, no, we can't put and lose a week. We cannot do that. But how effective have these days of instruction been? How effective do you all really think it has been? So many teachers.
It's really hard to say that these days are effective when you have classes missing more than half of the students. How much can you possibly, what new concept can you teach to children when more than half of the class is gone, right? So
not only that, there was over, I don't have confirmation of it. It won't be until I get open records back on this. But there was over what I have gotten, over 300 teachers out. So how effective do you think this instruction is being?
When it's not even from the teacher. You're right. You're right about that.
And so, I mean, you got to look at the entire picture. We have to really, and I'm going to say it, we have to put our ego aside. We have to really sit down and think what is really best for the students and the employees. And it's not that we're saying, we got to think about the students and the employees also. Because without the employees, nobody's going to be there for the students. Okay? Your teachers, your bus drivers, your food service, your custodial, everybody, we need them all. So we don't just have to take care of the students. We got to take care of the employees as well. And that's what gets me, that I think some of these things, some of these decisions is como dicen, because I said so, porque yo digo, así se va a hacer. Because I said so, this is how it's going to be. And we're not going to delay the start. So
Yeah.
what did you do? You ended up losing a lot of money because we're in the 70-some% of attendance. And
Yeah.
they're putting up posts that they're very proud of it. That's not something to be proud of. We're losing money. We're losing money in funding.
Yeah. And you know what, Ida, you mentioned how many, although we haven't confirmed the exact number, how many people are out. What was I want you to explain what was the resolution for that. Like what is happening? Because we brought it up very briefly earlier, but what is happening to alleviate all those absences?
That they're bringing in, you're talking about the subs, because there's a sub shortage as well. Okay.
Mhm.
So what they've been doing is administration, and it wasn't something that was created here in Donna. A lot of the districts are doing it as well, that they're pulling in administration personnel to go in and sub. So they're pulling in anybody from administration that has had experience in or has their certification in teaching or anything like that. But then it wasn't enough to cover all of the absences, so they even started pulling in
Clerks.
anybody with a heartbeat that is at an administration building. But again, it goes back to how effective is this being for instruction?
Right.
Okay. If you
So
pull in people,
you as a parent, Mr. Tro, how do you feel about knowing that there's they're just pulling whoever to cover the class? What if it's your child's class? How do you feel about that?
because not just anybody can sub. I'm sorry, not to be, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but in order to sub, as you might be aware, you have to go through a training. You have to go through, I don't know how many day training at Region 1 for.
You have to also have so many hours of college. I believe it's 30 plus, something like
to
that.
be a sub. So yeah, you might have you might be degreed. I believe they're only pulling in degreed people from administration building, but they don't have their substitute certification, meaning they give you more or less a quick rundown of what to do, what not to do. Because believe it or not, sometimes you're not going to be familiar of what to do in that setting. You might be killing it in accounting, in payroll. You might be doing an awesome job there, but it doesn't mean that you're going to know what to do in the classroom. So, with all of that, how do you feel as a parent knowing that maybe your child had one of those subs?
Well, I'm very grateful to the staff that's, willing to leave their department to go and sit with these kids and expose themselves to countless people that could be infected. My hat's off to them. Thank you for getting it done. But it's also very, somebody made this comment on my Facebook page, and my kids haven't been back at school because I'm waiting for them to be vaccinated with their boosters. The first day it was available, they ran and got their vaccines, and that was in April. So they need their booster. But somebody did bring up the point that I believe they were at PACE, and somebody from the office was trying to teach algebra and didn't understand it themselves, which I wouldn't either, in all fairness. And, just what is the purpose that we went back for these 3 days? It just angers me so much. And I had such a volatile reaction right now when you said that your theory was the testing, because my theory was that it was money. But to realize that the STAR test is, just such a burden on everybody or whatever, and that could have been the reason why, it just blew my mind. I don't know the reason. I wish eventually they would tell us. There was a virologist, a person who specializes in viruses, that is here from Cameron County, that was on my Facebook. And she left her comment that she also tried pleading. This is an expert in viruses who tried pleading the importance of those 3 days. and just blows my mind. But I don't appreciate, I mean, I know the situation is terrible, but I don't see the purpose of sending my child to school if there is nobody there, if there's no curriculum, if there's no, why am I exposing my children if there's no learning happening that day? It's just a free play, a day where they're going to be exposed. It makes no sense. And I wish they would offer virtual, at least for children who, are in special services or have morbidities, and COVID is more dangerous to them. I
Yeah.
wish that they would be prioritized. Nobody has even touched on these special services parents who I can't even imagine the anxiety they're feeling,
Exactly.
knowing their kids are forced back. And so I'm just so grateful that we have you to advocate for us. And I know it's early and I know there's no elections, but I kind of do know stuff about that. And I'm so willing to help you with whatever you can, any type of organizations. Of course, no charge. This is just me volunteering, because I will never forget that when my children were put in this situation and looked over, that you all were the only ones there with me, arguing with all of these parents who are concerned. And so it just means a lot to us. I keep saying that, but it really, really does. I'm willing to help you with whatever you need. These teachers, they do so much for us. They build this community, and I'm
Yep.
just willing to help in any way that I can.
And we thank you so much for that. And when you were saying those things right now, it also reminds me of, there's also another point of view that we're forgetting, and that's the student themselves. They get so stressed out because there's some people who do not want to miss school no matter what. And they have that fear of falling behind, or whatever the case might be. You know what I mean? They The superintendent, I don't think he realizes how it impacts so many different people. And if there's some kids that will not sleep at night because of this, knowing that they're dealing with the fear of this virus that they've never seen. Some of us ourselves have never been through anything like this, right? Imagine a child
Well,
dealing
it's
with
hard for us as adults to navigate because we don't understand it.
yes.
So
But
if
then
we don't understand it,
they don't want to miss school. But yet we have this superintendent who's not willing to postpone that. Why? How effective was it? How effective was that instruction that they received from somebody who has never been in a classroom before? you know because and their teacher didn't get to leave their full instruction because it was a last minute thing that they didn't expect to be positive, and they had to be out unexpectedly. How effective.
yeah.
you know it's just so upsetting. It's so
No, it is
upsetting.
very upsetting. Maribel Salazar says that only 1 of 6 of her students is vaccinated in her classroom.
Oh,
Miss Peppermint Patty, Jessica Gonzalez has no idea as to what campuses have or do not have. She is not for the children or teachers. Teachers are having to purchase their air purifiers to ease parents. I have seen a lot of teachers purchase or put in on what is that thing where we ask for stuff? I can't remember. There's some program that you put in information and then people donate to you. Donors choose. There's teachers asking for those so they don't have to spend their own money on it. But yeah, the air purifiers, there are no air purifiers in the classrooms. They're only in the cafeteria or the bigger areas, but there are no purifiers in the classrooms.
yeah.
Unless the teacher has bought it or unless they've gotten it from Donors Choose, there isn't one in the classroom. When is the next board meeting? That's a great question. Why didn't they have
Yes,
an emergency meeting yet? Thank you, Miss Redhead.
because they don't feel it's that they have an emergency yet. That's the only thing I could think of, because they should have already have had one. But the next board meeting is not scheduled till Tuesday, and we hope.
And everybody show up.
Yep,
Show
we
up.
really do. I mean, my gosh, guys. I mean, we can't do this alone. I mean, we'll be there. We will be there, but We need everybody to say, yeah, this is it. This is enough. This really, it showed a lot to the employees of how the district feels about them. And we're going to cover, one of the things I'm going to discuss is the resignations so far of what we've seen throughout the year. We've
Students and
seen
staff, sorry.
a higher amount of resignations than we have ever seen. And that should be something that should be sending a clear message to the superintendent.
All right. Students and staff can go into the school with the virus if they are vaccinated. It is worded with the word recommended. Oh, this is finishing hers. Why didn't they have an emergency meeting yet to deal with the Omicron testing and vaccines? We'll see what they say on Tuesday. I needed the extra day so my daughter could complete her 14 days after her second vaccine to be considered fully vaccinated. My daughter's not going to school until next week.
Good
Very
job.
nice. That number is so wrong. I remotely teach the COVID middle school kids, and we had 93 students just today. There's a lot more in high school plus all the elementary schools. No way there are only about 200 students affected.
And just to point out that even before this decision was made, the county and the state of Texas released an emergency document that their resources were exhausted for the one treatment that is effective against Omicron, which is that infusion. And so even more aggravating and just insulting. The one thing that is working for Omicron, and there's no more resources for it. So we just continue putting that, foot on the gas pedal, on the accelerator, and going forward. Just completely mind-blowing. Seeing how many students are effective and do not have access to that treatment just really makes me angry.
Yeah. I was homesick for 10 days with COVID in November. My December check was $2,400 short because I didn't have enough sick days.
Wow. Yep. And that's what I'm talking about. The people, my gosh, are not going to have enough to pay some of their bills because of this. But hopefully, hopefully we're going to continue to be asking for this. And that's why it's very important on this COVID leave. And we hope that everybody's that's listening, you can go to our website, myaobe.com. You can go to our Facebook. It has the contact information for the school board members. Share your opinion, how you feel about this, why it's important to have COVID leave. Why do you deserve COVID leave as an employee? Even as a parent, why do you think that your teachers or the staff of BISD deserve COVID leave? Okay, because they need to be allowed to have this, or else it's going to continue to spread because they're going to be going to work positive.
Yep. It's not fair to have to use your sick days if you contract. There are other illnesses people have to deal with throughout the school year. Yep. I got COVID back in August. I already used up all my days. If I test and my results are positive, I have no choice but to continue going to work because every day I miss will be deducted. I have no choice. Thank you for always advocating for teachers. I had gotten a false positive and I reported it to main office, and I was told I had to stay home even though my PCR results were negative. So now that I was sick, my check was less than that 900 and was docked. And that was so wrong of main office not to allow me to go back to work. And I had 3 negative tests. Wow. Wow. Saludos a la señorita Jessica, siempre pendiente de nuestra comunidad. Dios la bendiga.
Oh.
Thank you. I have heard that the nurses are being bombarded with students and employees in need of attention. Everyone needs to be reminded to be kind and sensitive during this time. Yes.
I agree on that. That is something also that I do want to say, guys, everybody's going through so much. Everybody. And I don't mean to be rough on the superintendent, but I'm sorry. I have to because of the position that he holds. But everybody else, we got to be considerate of what they're going through. Everybody's going through a hard time. They're dealing with illnesses, family members, losses, and in their family, things like that. You know, let's be, sympathetic of one another. Let's try to encourage one another. Thank one another for what they're doing. Any
And you
little
know what,
thing.
Ida, I'm gonna let me interrupt you real quick. Be sympathetic and all of that, but also understand if somebody doesn't want you coming in their classroom. Don't be offended. Don't get upset. It's nothing personal. People are have different levels of fear and anxiety, and just respect. I know that I had asked you the other day, Ida, if it would be possible for a teacher to put a sign outside the door saying, if you have any questions, please stay at the door. Don't walk into my classroom. We all have our limits, even without COVID, of personal space and different things like that. But now, even with COVID, it's even more heightened. And we don't know uh, the reasons why somebody wouldn't want. Maybe they have a child at home that has not been vaccinated and they don't want to be, exposing themselves unnecessarily. So just be respectful to that, and don't take it personal. It's not anything personal, it's just safety. So, Miss Betty, definitely a big shout out to our school nurses. They are in the front line from the moment they get to the campus. Yes, definitely. What do you think about BISD closing the comment section on their posts?
Closing yeah, I mean, I think that's very difficult. I mean, you're gonna have if you really want to get a true dialogue going, you got to be willing to have a true dialogue going. Now, if somebody's going to be disrespectful and vulgar, then okay, I understand, you have the right to remove those.
You can
But
block them.
yeah, we've had some people that you don't have to put up with the vulgarness and stuff. But when people have comments and they're legitimate comments and concerns, there's nothing wrong with that, to me, in my opinion. I don't know.
I mean,
Miss
we've had
Tetra,
comments on our
what do you think?
Facebook posts. We've had comments on our Facebook posts and on our videos that of people that don't agree. As long as you're not being rude and disrespectful and vulgar, the comment will stay. Right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, what do you think, Miss Tetra? Do you delete? Do you block comments, or
I don't block comments on my professional page. Nobody is blocked on that one. But I do have a personal page that is my, it has all of my friends, my 5,000 friends, and I think like 15,000 followers. And I have my kids on that page. So sometimes when people are being extra nasty and vulgar and just, whether perverted, whether whatever, I delete those. But
yeah.
if somebody disagrees with me, it's fine to have an argument there. There's lots of arguments on my Facebook page right now. I'm okay with it. Too busy.
I think that's
yeah,
funny.
I mean, the thing is, you can't take it personal, and people are allowed to have a different opinion. And
That's okay.
sometimes, my gosh, that's how people grow.
Yeah.
That's how people learn things. I can say that I I don't know. That's the type of person I am. I always want to see, okay, why do you feel that way? Why do you feel that you need to do this? Okay? And I might be able to learn something new. There's nothing wrong with that. Believe it or not, I'm not going to be right all the time. you
What?
know Yes, I know. I was shocked too. But it's okay to always listen to someone else and be open-minded about it and stuff. It's okay to disagree.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I don't think it's cool that they don't allow that. I mean, my gosh. We're only going to get to post the pictures and try to put out this certain image.
Yep.
That's not right.
Recovered doesn't always mean a perfect scenario. Let me go back. I'm not sure where that's. I'm not sure what that is following.
My
Scary
connection is so
number,
bad.
sir. You keep popping back in. You're good. David
Okay.
Castro, scary numbers. And the most beautiful human being on the planet Earth, Bradley Freeman Jr., is asking, is there no longer a virtual option? I'm surprised he's watching me, and he probably won't watch me again because I said he's the most beautiful person on
I
the planet.
know. Do you want to maybe explain to somebody who might not know who that is?
That is my baby. That's my pops. That's my eldest son. But actually there is a virtual option, but the state has limited numbers as to how many students can be virtual for the district. And which is the reason that we were asking for a delay and not virtual option, because we know there is a limit. So virtual is an option. They have to meet certain criteria, and the window is only open for virtual students. The ones that are virtual for the 6 weeks or a long period of time is only open at the 6 weeks period. And then the virtual option is open to the students who are COVID positive. That was another concern that we had a teacher express, that the kids are in and out so much now because it's 5 days. And so they don't even really have a lot of time with them. Um, but they're still required to give grades and different things like that. And so it's really hard because they have, I'm just going to go throw numbers. This is not exact numbers, but they have, say, like the teacher that said a little while ago, 93 students come in today. Well, those 93 kids weren't there yesterday. And so what she was covering yesterday is, there it's all over the place, right? For the teachers that are covering the students coming in with the COVID leave. So there is a virtual option, but it's limited, and that's why we were asking for a delay. Thank you, the most handsome, beautiful man ever.
Stop it. Sorry, Brad. I try.
Miss
She's out
Virginia
of
Ramirez,
control.
thanks, ladies, for being great leaders. Thank you, Virginia. The redhead. They need to get over themselves with the test. Oh no, wait. They need over themselves with the testing already. This is not to be competing with testing. Whoever survives through this just needs to help each other out. Yeah. We need to be there for each other. So where do we leave our children in case they come out positive, since we still have to go to work?
Yeah. That's really hard because I mean, people are having to make different accommodations. People are having to miss work, and then besides that, you got to quarantine that person that comes out positive. So it's a very difficult situation.
Yeah. I got my clearance the next day after my positive that I could go back in 5 days. I thought that was
Oh
crazy.
yeah. Oh yeah. They're issuing, to my understanding, I had a member tell me that they got it right there and then when they took their test. When they came out positive, here's your clearance 5 days from today. And I'm like, wow. Uh, I've seen people who actually, I had somebody who it's been 10 days and they still tested positive. And she said, I'm not going back. I'm not going back.
But see, that's a person that's saying they're not going back. The flow chart says they can go back.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm
So
saying. I mean, it's really difficult, but that person said, I'm not going to be responsible for killing someone.
yeah,
I'm not going to be responsible for that,
you can't
and
carry that with
and
you.
and it's not like they had money to throw away and stuff, but that's something that you're going to have to live with.
Correct. Vaccinated does not need to quarantine. That's correct. That's what the flow chart says. Thank you, ladies. Mi compadre es consejero y en una escuela no tiene productos para limpiar. Él compra fabuloso para que por lo menos vuela, huela bien. Esto no es bueno. No, and we've already expressed that. We keep sharing that. That's been something that's been nonstop. You're supposed to be putting it in writing to your administrator, and you should be getting what
Please.
you're asking for. But please put it in writing because that's the paper trail.
Please
Mr.
do. And if you put it in writing and you still do not get a response, or you do not get the products, please contact us right away. Because, I mean, believe me, I love Fabuloso. But, yeah, we need something a little bit stronger than that. And if we're putting on the flyer that we have the Clorox 360, and one of the only districts, that's what I saw on the flyer, one of the only districts in the valley that has the Clorox 360 machine, then we better be using this and not having to bring our own Fabuloso to the workplace. Nothing wrong against Fabuloso.
Dashboard is scary, showing 211 positive employees and 544 positive students in just 4 days. Prayers the numbers go down. That's very important. That's only in 4 days.
Yes. And
I don't even think it's accurate.
That was just updated because before the show started, it showed for January 365 positives.
Correct.
Students. So, and I got a screenshot of it. So it showed 365. That's in January. That's 4 days, guys. My gosh. These are our students. And I think that there's still a lot missing from there.
Yeah.
So
that's 211 positive employees. I don't believe that number is correct.
So again, how effective was this of not delaying the start date?
Mm-hmm. The problem is that they only listen to us when they're running for office. It's coming though, Ms. Hernandez. It's coming.
That's right.
I have lots of students in class sick. The fact that the board has not called an emergency meeting to face this is very telling. It's easy to send people into the slaughter, but show your faces. I'm not going to read the last part. I don't want to. Pretty sure if they extended the winter break, they would have had to cancel Charo Days, and no way they were going to do that after promoting BISD as a sponsor.
Mm-hmm. Priorities.
Snoops. I've not heard any of these board members stand up and say, hey, maybe we should delay the start of school. It can be done. Other districts did this. Everyone needs to remember this come election time. Not one more board member fought to delay the start. 48 or 60 college hours for subs. Oh, you see, so that's required. Yes. Frankie, can y'all start over? Negative, Mr. Frankie. At the end of the day, the kids are not learning what they should. They say that in order for them to learn in school, and I totally understand and agree, but it's not the same to have a teacher that is to have a sub. Facts.
Yep.
Sorry, but all kids are a priority.
Absolutely.
So glad I'm a member. Thank you for being so concerned for all students and teachers. Celinda Martinez.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez.
Lupita. And I'm tired of them acting so catastrophic about a student getting a little behind. If children get behind, you get them caught up when it's safe. It's not the end of the world. Very true. DJ, absolutely. Happy New Year to you all. Thanks for your advocacy. Thank you. Snoopy. Ladies, do all the classes really look like that with sneeze guards? Because I noticed that when they show classes on BISD Facebook page, they only feature those classrooms. So from what I'm understanding and the calls that we're getting, there are still classes that do not have shields.
That is correct.
But I wouldn't be able to give you a number, but we do still have classrooms that do not have those shields.
And again, we're going off of what people are telling us because we are not in the classrooms. We don't get to go to the campuses to see if that's true or not, but it's what they're telling us.
I'm in the classroom, but I do have shields. So that doesn't apply to me, but we have had a lot of calls that are saying that they still do not have the shields. Some students have lost a parent to COVID and now their other parent is sick with COVID, but they have to come to school to be prepared for the test.
Yeah.
I bought my own air purifier because I care for my students and I can't wait for BISD's timelines. I have also yet to see that Clorox 360 machine in action. Does that even exist? Why does BISD promote it when I not once have seen pics of it being used?
I know. Me too. Is it the, what do you call it? The Phantom Go Clorox 360.
Yeah, how many resigned at Christmas?
If somebody has seen the Clorox 360 machine in action, please send me a picture.
It's on
Please
Wonder
send
Woman's Invisible Plane. Yeah.
I've actually seen it used.
You have?
Yes, at my campus.
When? Though recently?
Tuesday
Oh, okay. Thank you.
in my classroom because they kicked me out of my room.
Because there was a
Because
positive.
I was trying. No, Tuesday,
Oh.
the day that we had our work day. I was trying to like finish stuff because I wanted to be ready for Wednesday, and they're like, "¿A qué hora te vas? Porque tenemos que con la máquina." And I'm like, "Really? Trying to work?" So yeah, they used it in my room. Well, they used it, I think, in all of the rooms, and all the classrooms that day to be ready for the next day. But yeah, I was
Cool.
kicked out of my classroom
So we
In a
do
nice
know it
way.
exists.
in a nice way. How many resigned, Miss Saida?
I have not been able to enter the numbers for this past month, but it's a lot. I'll announce it at the school board meeting on Tuesday when I speak. I'm going to speak on the numbers.
Okay. All right. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I have questions for Miss Tetro. I don't see any, so I'm just gonna keep going.
Sorry,
You're
Miss
okay.
Tetro.
I know. I'm
We
like trying
told
to.
you it was going to be real quick, right? We lied.
We don't know what that is. We don't know what quick is.
We always we're gonna keep it at 1 hour. We will not go over an hour, and then before we know it, we just know we don't interrupt into Erasmo's time.
No,
we got to stop by 9.
we cannot compete with prime time. We cannot compete with prime time. Let me see. I skipped one. We don't have air purifiers where the students are. They are at most campuses in the main office. Oh, this is true. They are also in the office. There are some in the office, and then the cafeteria. I think those are the only two places I've seen. Our library isn't open, so I don't know if there's gonna be one in there because they're doing the remodeling. So there may be one in there too. I'm not sure. I bought my and the nurse's office. I bought my own air purifier with UV light last year with my own money. Oh, with a UV light. If there's anybody listening that has a lot of money and a huge business and you're willing to donate, teachers will take it. Just saying.
Any of them.
Any of them will take it. Meeting is this a regular board meeting? Yes, but they should have called any more emergency meeting by now to show they care. Graciela Ramirez, ladies, this year has been the most difficult year in our lives. Not only has Sam survived COVID, but he returned to the classroom with enthusiasm and saw life with a different perspective. Now we fear with his delicate health that if he catches COVID one more time, he will not make it. He is now wearing a life jacket and needs a lung and heart transplant. Tell us there's a guarantee he will not get COVID in the classroom, please.
Oh,
I can't. That's
so sorry to hear that.
That breaks my heart. They want teachers to go and work and expose themselves, but they still will not budge on COVID leave. Unbelievable. Wow, teachers must isolate and they should be allowed to work virtually. Yes, be respectful and do your part. Use your mask and keep your distance, please. BISD does not even give an opportunity to comment either on Facebook or on YouTube. Isn't a purpose for BISD's use of Facebook and social media platforms for the community to question? Regardless if anyone is or not a member, fights for each AOBE, regardless if anyone is a member or not, fights for each person, student, and employee. We all have to fight together. Agreed. I love writing and teaching. Writing, and Wednesday, my students wrote about resolutions for the new year. A couple of my students wrote they wanted to be in charge of schools. O sea, be superintendent, so that we wouldn't be put in danger. Their words exactly. Wow. That's wow. If I don't send my kids right now, do you think I'll be fine for not sending them right now? Great question. And what he's referring to is if they become truant.
I don't know on that, Miss Tetro. Would you know on that if they?
I don't know, but
I'm not sure.
Phil McCracken. Phil McCracken. Wow. You should hire Mr. Cleanest.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Mr. Richard. 4 days, but only 2 with kids.
Yep, and those numbers is only 2 with kids.
La Llorona 360 machine. Morningside also has a machine and they do use it. Boom, there's another one.
Wow, it does exist.
We don't have the Llorona at my school, and the Llorona's not at Morningside.
Well, I am so glad to hear that it does exist. Yay.
All right. Let me see if Miss Micaela is almost ready.
On this, I don't know if you want to add anything else, Ms. Tetro, on this. We are going to do some door prizes. We completely lost track, and we forgot to mention we were going to do the door prizes, but we are going to give a few. But I don't know if there's anything else you want to share. Any words of encouragement to our listeners out there, and during these, like everybody's been saying, these trying times, and it's just difficult and stuff. But again, we thank you for being on here as a parent tonight. You are on as a parent, and you wanted to share your concerns and share your point of view as a parent, and we thank you for that. But want to know if there's anything else you want to share with us tonight. Please do.
I just want to thank you so much for advocating for our teachers and all of the staff that's out there. They are heroes, keeping everything afloat while all of this is going on. I can't even imagine the anxiety and fear that everybody has, but we're grateful. Thank you. And thank you for advocating for them. Thank you for being their voice and for fighting so hard. I saw firsthand how badly you get treated for not agreeing or for having an opinion. And my heart breaks for that. These are very scary times as a parent for my kids. But the one thing that I know that they have great in their life is the staff at their schools. You all are rock stars, and I'm just very, very grateful. So if there's anything I can ever be of assistance with for the union, I'm here gladly. And I'm at a loss for words. Thank you for being that voice in the community for these scared parents and teachers. Thank you. It means a lot. And I'm at your service. You've found a friend in me.
Oh, thank you.
We thank you for that.
Yes.
Oh, we appreciate it.
Thank you, lady. Let me read this comment. Brownsville is so much better because of you 3. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez.
Oh, and we hope you continue to also, be a voice. I admire people who don't hold back and, don't worry about the consequences of sharing their opinion or, advocating for others. When you set an example like that, it encourages more people to be able to speak up as well and stuff, throughout this process. I know when this pandemic started, one of the ladies that's on here, Maggie, I'll call her out on it, was very shy. And oh my gosh, she's mentioned before how she was scared to come out in any of the pictures and stuff. And now she's on our board at AOBE. She's a frequent guest on Ed Osmo's show. So she became very vocal. So, sometimes you don't realize how much, you help other people to be able to find their voice. So I thank you for doing that. And we definitely look forward to a great working relationship, and together, we continue to bring about, some change. It could be just minor things, but you know what, at least we're not sitting back and just going along with some of the choices that they're doing. Some change is better than no change at all. So we thank you for all of that.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for all you do.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you soon.
You too. Bye-bye. Thank you, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
All righty, so let's
Miss Carla Yvonne. The parents in my daughter's class all got together and purchased an air purifier for their class.
Oh, wow.
That is
That's
amazing.
That is amazing. Wow.
Angie
But
Villarreal, thank you for all you do.
But you know what? I'm sorry. It's amazing, but it's sad that that's what they had to do. Because you know what? These parents have so many other expenses. Not every parent can afford to do that. A lot of people have had loss of income in the household, all these different things. And when a district receives $185 million in ESSER funding, and not every classroom is provided this, but they give the illusion that they are provided all of this because those flyers say that BISD is the only district that has hospital grade air purifiers, but it's not in every classroom.
No. I keep going. I'll be right back.
Oh my. So that's very heartbreaking to see that these people have to, out of their own pocket, pitch in and purchase these air purifiers for their classroom so their child can be in a safe classroom and the teacher can be in a safe classroom. I mean, my gosh, what was all of this money for? That should have been on top of the list along with the retention stipends. So it's very sad to see that. I mean, I'm glad that they did that. But it's just heartbreaking to see that they had to do that when they could have used some of that ESSER funding for it. So, but let me see if I'm able to change these different messages. Miss Angie Villarreal, thank you for all you do. Thank you, Miss Angie. We appreciate you. Oh, let me see. With my internet connection, I swear. did it change it or no?
It sure did. Mirna. Oh. Hi, Mirna. You guys are the best. Thank you. Mr. Cisneros wants a shirt like Veronica has on. Only if you call me Vanna White.
Show your sleeve. Show the sleeve. AOBE strong. I love it.
I would be disappearing if it was green.
All righty, let's go ahead and do the door prizes because the show went a little bit longer. So we are going to let me tell you. We entered all the names that are we entered them off the username. Okay, so if we call your name on here, we're going to ask you to call the office number right now, and Miss Mary is going to go ahead and get your contact information so she can get your gift card to you tomorrow. Okay, so the number you will call is the 621-3010. That is our office number. Okay, so we're going to spin the wheel and we are going to be giving away a $20, 5 of the $20 gift cards from HEB. And why is it HEB? Because HEB supports public schools. Boom. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel and let's see who we get. First $20 gift card from HEB goes to, and like we said, all the names that were listed on here, whatever your username is, that's how you were entered onto the wheel.
Griselda Reyes. Griselda Reyes is our first winner.
Griselda, please call the office at 621-3010. You can also text and get the contact information. Give them the contact information, please.
He called me Vanna
Alrighty, let's.
4 times. 4 times. So he needs to get a shirt. Lily Hernandez wants a shirt too.
Aw.
Thank you, ladies, Ms. Ramirez. And Lily said twice she wants a shirt too. She hasn't called me Vanna though, so I don't know. Just saying.
Go ahead and spin the wheel. Let's see.
Audrey Robert.
Audrey Robert. Audrey, please call the office number. So we're hoping these people contact, because we're not going to have any contact information for you. Okay.
Carmen Almares. Thank you. Very good points, ladies. Vanna Banana.
Thank you, Carmen.
I'm the only one that can call you guys Vanna. Fernando. All right.
Alrighty. Let's go ahead and do the third gift card. It's a $20 gift card for HEB.
Mr. David Castro. Mr. David Castro.
All right. Call the office number. Again, 621-3010.
I got all the comments, right, Miss Ida? Did I get all the comments?
Yeah, I can see.
All right. Spin that wheel. Maribel Salazar. Maribel Salazar.
Awesome. If any of y'all know who these people are, please contact them and let them know to call our office so they can.
If they're not still on here, yeah. If they're not still on here,
exactly.
All right, how many is that, Miss Ida?
What? We need one more.
One more.
And this is the last and final one. $20 gift card to HEB.
Betty Ibarra. Miss Betty Ibarra.
Woo!
Yay.
Awesome. All righty. So with that wraps up our show.
Yes, we cannot go into prime time, Ida.
I know. Definitely not. We'll get called out on it.
Those consequences.
So I want to thank everybody out there for everything that you guys are doing. Como dicen, you all are the true MVPs, man. I mean, it's one of the most difficult times out there, and I hear everything y'all are going through. You know, please know we're going to continue to advocate for you. We're going to continue to push for this, but together, you know, we're going to bring about this change. Please go to our Facebook. Please contact the board members on these different things, especially on the COVID leave. It's very important that we get COVID leave for the employees. This is exactly why we've been pushing for it all year long. Since the summertime, we started pushing for this because it forces people to go to work when they're positive. Okay. And then the people who are out, they're losing out on pay that they cannot afford to lose out on. Okay. A lot of people have used up their sick leave. They have no extra days. So please contact your school board members. Let them know why we need it. The surrounding districts have it for their employees, and this is why we're losing them. We're losing our employees to them, to the surrounding districts. They're leaving the profession because of this, because they don't feel valued anymore. Okay, so please take the time to do that. Okay, so you can find those numbers on our website on myaobe.com or on our Facebook page. If you go, you can scroll down a little bit, and we post their contact information all the time. Okay, guys. Also, if you're not a member, you can also join by going to our website, and it has your electronic application that you can fill out there. Okay. So we thank you so much for your time, and continue to stand strong, guys. Don't give in. Don't give up. You know, we're going to get through this. Okay.
Just real quick, a reminder that the board meeting, BISD board meeting, is next week on Tuesday. Please come. Of course, wear your mask, be covered up. Please wear blue. Let me share the screen real quick. Regular scheduled board meeting, which is on January 11th. What is being opened up is the agenda. If you scroll down, you will see resolution for COVID leave. It is on the agenda, guys. Please show up. Bodies in the boardroom or even outside the boardroom mean votes. And votes will change or direct how they vote on items like this one you see right here. They are going to vote for 5 days of COVID leave. Please, guys, please, we need you guys to come. Please call the board members. This is a very important item.
It's very important, and not to be greedy, but I agree. I think it should be 10. I'm sorry. I don't care if they say, oh my gosh, she's never happy, because I am happy. But I just think it's only fair, and it's what you all deserve. 5 days with how this virus is going is going to go too fast. The majority of these people, I mean, my gosh, we have 300 plus people out right now because of the positive cases. So it's not like they can be out and make it up that they have COVID. No, you have to prove that they're positive. So share with the board members that you believe it should be 10 days. That's what the majority of the people are doing, are getting. Okay, guys. And I'm glad that this is on the agenda. We need people to please voice their opinion on this. It's very important, guys. It's very important. We've gotten it this far. We can get it, but we need everybody's help on this. Okay. So we hope to see you all at the boardroom. We hope that you all make your calls. And oh, Erasmo's not having a show. Wow.
First, we lost the students to the charter school, and now the teachers.
Yep. So true, Ms. Hernandez.
Gloria Garcia, Ida, please call me. Thank you,
I will,
ladies.
Ms. Gloria.
Hi, Ms. Gloria. Hi, Lupita saying hi, Ms. Gloria. Well, that was a very informative evening. I'm very happy and grateful that Mr. Tro was on and gave her opinion as a parent of a student in BISD. And so I hope that this Tuesday shows a positive change. And thank you guys, all of you who hung in there with us and stayed throughout the whole show. Thank you for those who interacted with us on the chat. It's very important to us that we hear from you and that we answer your questions when possible. And wish you guys a safe and healthy remainder of the year. We another reminder, next week, no show, because we start our what are we calling it?
It's a self-care and meditation with, I don't know if you remember, before the holidays, we had the author of Be Still, Little Tree, Be Still, Mr. Elliott. And he is going to show you some relaxation techniques on de-stressing and things like that. So we will be doing that on the 2nd and 4th Thursdays of the month, because our show is the 1st and 3rd. So the 2nd and 4th, we're going to be doing this, but it will be through Zoom. Okay. So because he needs a lot more face-to-face interaction to do that. Okay. So we will be posting the Zoom link for that. Okay. And we will be posting that, and then we will be emailing it out as well. Okay. So if you want relaxation techniques, that will be next Thursday at 7 o'clock. Okay. So we hope that some of y'all are able to log in, and hopefully it is something that helps you guys just a little bit more on relaxation.
So next week we have our self-care, and the following week we will have our show. Please, 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 again, I cannot stress enough how important it is for bodies to be in the boardroom, especially when items like this are going to be voted on. Please, and wear blue. Wear blue.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Bye.